All right, so in today's episode, we're going to talk about a few things that you can do to prevent your company from having regulatory issues or potentially going out of business. Hey, what's up, my network marketing friend? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. So yeah, let's chat for a little bit today on how to prevent your company from getting in trouble with regulators, with, like, for example, the Federal Trade Commission here in the U.S. or any other regulatory body, attorney generals, and so on and so forth. SEC, perhaps, if or see any of the lettered agencies in the U.S. and most certainly outside of the U.S. as well. So here's the thing. I realize, like, network marketing is cool. It's fun. You can make big money in network marketing. Honestly, you can make more money than most people ever even thought they could make in network marketing because of one thing, because of leverage. Most people are taught their whole lives that, they go to work for somebody and they, get paid hourly or salary or what, base plus commissions or whatever it might be. So in every one of those instances, they're paid on personal production. So the only one in control of that income is the individual. And in some of those cases, like, hourly or salary, it doesn't matter how productive you are. The truth is you're still going to be paid the same amount. That's why a lot of people choose to go into commission-based environments, because they have a lot of control over how much they make, which is, one of the big attractor factors about network marketing. And because of leverage, again, the ability to earn income on the efforts of not just yourself, but, hundreds, if not thousands of people, that's why, we see the types of incomes that top earners achieve in the direct selling and network marketing business model. However, when people are out there pitching their opportunity, I can cover products too, but when people are pitching the opportunity, of course, they want to make it sound good. They want it to look good. When you're doing a presentation, it's a promotional pitch. And so you're not going to sit here and say, here's the 7 problems our company has, and, why you should maybe second guess whether you should join us or not. That's never included in a business opportunity presentation. So it's all the good things. And so generally speaking, I would say to you, beware of the hype. Okay. Beware of overhyping whatever it is that you're talking about. And I'm not saying you can't be promotional and you want it to sound good, whether it's like conversation that you're having with somebody, you're excited, you're enthusiastic about it, about your products and the opportunity that's presented through your business. So yeah, be promotional, be enthusiastic, be excited. But when you get over hypey, that can lead to claims. And I think there's a lot of people that are really not aware of the types of claims that can get a company in trouble. For example, like way back in the day, before we had to deal with regulatory bodies the way we do today, I had like a book, one of those little binders with the little plastic sleeves in it. And before I had my check, I had photocopies of my sponsor's check, and I had multiple copies of the check. So I would literally show the check. And then when I earned the check, like, I would literally photocopy my check and show my check. And it makes you think, well, I earned that money. Why can't I show the check? And I'm not going to go into the legal definition because I'll probably screw it up anyhow. But the reality is you can't show your check or make claims of how much you could earn or what's possible unless, and you need to be clear on this, I'll let you do your own homework, unless it's followed by a complete income disclosure statement, which most people fail to ever even include, or they flash it up on the page and it's gone. And it's like, what was that on the screen? And they don't even see it. So gone are the days of you being able to on a presentation sit there and say, I made 82,000 last month, I made 146,000 last month, and this person's going to share and that person's going to share. Because what it essentially does, and again, I'm going to stay away from attempting to do the legal thing, it makes the viewer go, wow, well, if they can do it, then, oh, wow, I can do it. That must be normal. In fact, like words like results not typical, things like that need to be included in any type of disclosure statement. But, nobody wants to do the disclosure statement. So most people buzz through it, if even covering it at all. So the important thing is that you're first and foremost, that you're aware that, making income claims can get you into trouble. And, if the company is smaller, under the radar, and I'm not saying do this because your company is smaller, just so don't get the wrong idea here. But if the company is, let's say sub 50 million a year, under 50 million a year, they're probably not on anybody's radar. But when companies get bigger and bigger, which is most certainly when you want your company to last, it's like the company's grown and grown and grown. You don't want the company to get in trouble. Then you need to personally be aware of what you're doing. And it's crazy because it's very difficult to control the masses of people. You have 50,000 distributors in a team, and some people honestly don't give a damn. They don't care. And they're sloppy, and they, even though they know it's wrong, they still do it. That's a problem. And I don't know that we can ever get rid of that problem, because it's, network marketing is too easy to get in, and anybody can find their way into a network marketing company, even bad people. So this is for you. My suggestion for you is you don't allow yourself to, and I'm going to cover a couple different angles. You don't allow yourself to get sucked into, the income claims. And, because, if those get spread or somebody sees it and they start forwarding it to agencies, your company could not only get into legal trouble and have big fines assessed, but they could end up finding themselves in court and essentially out of business. I'll give you a quick example. Like and it'll lead me into my next segment. So I had done many, many events for Vimma. And Vimma was at the time absolutely rocking in, Central and South America, the United States, and Europe in particular. I think I probably did 40 events for them, most of them in Europe and the US, but the company ended up getting raided and shut down, all of their assets locked up, and that was basically the end of that company. In fact, I sat in the court proceedings because I lived in Scottsdale at the time, and I sat there for the entire week. I was there for the entire trial, and it was interesting. I mean, there was no other network marketing trainer in the room. There was a couple of pretty legendary figures in network marketing, and the rest of the people in the room were in-house counsel from some of the largest network marketing companies in the world, because they wanted to see what was going to happen here. And ultimately, without naming names, individuals, I will say this, that there's I have my opinion as far as what happened there, and I think my opinion is probably very accurate. But what happened there, one of the things that they pointed out during that trial, and this is another thing, not even talking about income, but lifestyle. So it's unfortunate. Again, I wish I could show my check. I wish I could show all the toys that I have and stand in front of all my toys and say, you can have this too, but you can't. And so when you got somebody who's taking their Rolex watch, their diamond encrusted Rolex watch on their steering wheel in their Bentley, and they're like, rolling down the road, and you can clearly see the diamond encrusted Rolex watch and the Bentley logo on the steering wheel, that's considered a lifestyle claim. Or you see 5 dudes walking down the street in slow motion with their McLaren, their AMG Mercedes, the Rolls Royce, and you could see the glitzy shine of these 5 leaders walking down the street in a corporate video, which is exactly what I saw. That's a problem. And sometimes, unfortunately, owners don't care. Like, I know in the video that I remember seeing, like, the owner didn't really care. So if the owner doesn't care, it's that definitely presents a problem. And I think most owners do care. But you got to control yourself. And again, it's unfortunate. I wish that I could show the checks, show the bank statements, show my watch collection. And then, hey, you want to learn how to, get a watch collection like this, click here. It would be great, but you can't. Okay. So income, specifically income claims, problem. Lifestyle claims could be you standing in front of your house with your 3 or 4 cars. And even though, yeah, those are your cars, that's your boat, that's your house, whatever, that can still get you in trouble. So, the reality is network marketing is good enough to stand on its own without the unnecessary hype. The profession is big. It's like 180 something billion dollar a year global profession. It's been around for over 80 years. We all have to be grateful and thankful and pray every day that Amway went to bat for us in the 1970s, because if they didn't, we wouldn't even have a profession. Any of you watching me that are in a network marketing company wouldn't even be watching me right now, and I wouldn't even be a network marketing trainer had they not gone to bat for the entire profession in the late 1970s, which legitimized the network marketing profession. So, and and the other thing is, if you see people on your team or in the company, I will call you out. Like if I see a Facebook post or an Instagram post and you're a top leader in the company that I was involved in, I'm going to reach out to you and go, dude, you can't do that. Like you're going to get the company in trouble. Oh, F you, Falcone, screw off. Okay. Well, honestly, in that case, here's what I would do. I'm just being real. I'll call the company compliance team and say, hey, I called this guy, try to get him to stop doing these ridiculous lifestyle claims, and he told me to screw off. And so I'm going to let you handle it. Here's an image of it. So I would, you call me a tattletale, whatever you want. But the reality is, this is about protecting the longevity of the company and protecting the house. And so for me personally, I would go to that individual first and foremost and see if I can get them. Maybe they don't know. And the reality is a lot of people don't know, and maybe they don't really care. And the reality is a lot of people don't really care, especially when they're, flying high on the hog. So maybe they care when their check goes to zero or when they end up, getting a court case thrown against them. But sometimes it takes that. So income claims, lifestyle claims, you can't make it. If you're doing anything regarding income, you need to know the law around that. And you need to know that a full and complete income disclosure statement needs to be shown. You can't be talking about making money and then not an income disclosure statement. That's crucial. And again, you need to check the law yourself, but just generally speaking, no income claims, no lifestyle claims. And then, of course, if you're dealing with products, you can't make product claims like this product cured my blank. I had this and I started this product and, my cancer's gone. You can't say that. I mean, even if something were to be true, like even if the check was real, even if the boats and the cars and the house was real, even the fact that it got rid of your diabetes, it did this, I mean, whatever, you can't say it. Again, I wish you could, but you can't. And so we have to operate within the bounds of, the legal system here. And if you don't, what happens is you run the risk of your company being shut down. And there have been companies that have been shut down. I mean, going back to Vimma for a second, there was too many, and it wasn't everybody in the company. It was a group of people in that company. The group of Europeans that I worked with for years, they never did that. I mean, they were very professional, the way they did things. They had a big focus on end user consumption. That was, and I won't even get into that in this one, but I mean, they had legitimate, real customers, not just people, in the comp plan and buying product to make money. And I'll tell you, my opinion of what happened. There was a movement in that company, of young people. It was called YPR, Young People's Revolution. And it was a lot of these college kids that were selling this energy drink, and they were going on to college campuses and they were recruiting a ton of college kids into that company and selling, this energy drink, which is great. It's a great product. And think about this as a parent. You saved your whole life for your kid to go to Stanford or to some other university, and your kid calls you up in year 2 and says, "Dad, I'm quitting Stanford and I'm going to sell this energy drink and get rich." I think what happened was a lot of very powerful, it was a combination of things, but a lot of very powerful parents across the nation, their kids started dropping out of college, selling this energy drink, and they got pissed and they probably ended up calling a bunch of regulators, and there was enough complaints where it got even more attention. So even though that's my opinion, that's probably very accurate. Okay. So it just it's not like young kids can't do network marketing. They most certainly can, but you can't sit there and do these, and they were also doing the major lifestyle claims, income claims, and that's ultimately got them in trouble. I mean, I saw all the evidence in court. I mean, they had screenshots of all sorts of stuff when this FTC lawsuit was happening. And it's unfortunate because that company, and I mean, I know the owner, BK, very well. I mean, it was a great company, great products. I mean, BK is a great dude. A lot of really great people in that company, but ultimately, and they didn't recover from that. You can't recover when all of your assets are locked up and all of your distributors that were expecting a check no longer get a check. So no income claims, no product claims, no lifestyle claims. If you're giving testimonies, if you're sharing something, I mean, you got to be asking yourself, is this compliant? Is what I'm saying compliant? Because if it's not compliant, the reality is, yeah, you might get away with it for now, but if you're really looking to grow a big long-term business, then you need to make sure that you are staying in compliance and that you're teaching people to be compliant, and that, if you see people that are being out of compliance, that, you don't just let it slide. And I know everybody hates a tattletale, but, that's like that's your well-being. That's your future. That's your income. And everybody wants it to last, indefinitely. And, but if people are doing dumb stuff, bad things happen. So yeah, a little bit different subject matter for today. So not every day. Well, I guess today we would consider this training as well. But sometimes you got to have the hard conversations and let people know that, hey, this is a problem. And again, many people don't have a clue. They don't know that brand new people have no idea. They just entered network marketing for the first time. They don't know that they can't show their check, or if they made a bunch of money and it's like, hey, I made, this is my new Rolex watch that I bought because of the network marketing company. You just can't do that. They don't know. And you need to know. So now you know. All right. So hey, I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate you for plugging in. If you're on my podcast, love my podcast, folks. Appreciate you guys. Or my YouTubers. What's up, YouTubers? If you're on YouTube, if you want to have a further conversation about this, I always invite further conversation. If you disagree with me, that's totally cool. Come on over to my website. This is where all the conversation is happening. toddfalcone.com/episode 325. That's TODDFALCONE.com/episode 325. We'll see you next time.